Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Um, running a little behind here. So, I'm not doing well, in case you're curious. Um, doing about as good as can be expected. Um, One of the things I want to talk about right off the bat, just get it off my chest, is how our society as a whole, and maybe I'm only talking about Western culture, maybe other cultures treat things a little differently, but Western culture doesn't seem to teach anyone how to handle death. We really don't. Uh, you're not ever taught how to talk to somebody who's lost someone close to them. We're not taught how we're supposed to feel whenever either we lose someone close to us or when someone loses someone close to us. And what it ends up doing is it ends up causing a lot of uncertainty in how to speak or act or interact with someone or yourself whenever this happens. And I wish that we could find a way of embracing and maybe educating so that it's not such a faux pas. People have said to me things in these last 10 days, it's been 10 days since my wife passed away now, that they truly felt, I believe, was something I wanted or needed to hear. And nothing ever came across to me well. And everybody I truly felt had well meanings in them. So as I've been thinking about this, what I want to share truthfully, what I would like to hear if someone were to find out that I've lost my wife, or if I and they now have seen me, or if I just meet them and tell them, oh, they say, well, how's it going? I say, well, my wife has passed away. Truthfully, this is how I think from my own personal experience. This is how I think the best way to handle that situation is. And I'm going to share this with you guys. Hopefully, in the future, should you ever encounter this, that you might consider trying this as a conversation way of talking to them so that it doesn't come across awkward to the person who's grieving and awkward to you as the person who's been elated with this news. This is what I would like to hear. How are you doing? Well, I'm not doing so well. My wife just passed away. I'm so sorry to hear that. Would you like to talk about it? That's it. That now gives me an opportunity to either say, first off, you've given me your condolences. You've apologized for hearing probably the most tragic news that you could have heard that day, or maybe in a long time. You felt for me by saying that you're sorry for that. That makes me feel okay. You are a human and you're affected by it in some manner. Then you've gone as far as to say the most important and valuable thing in the world to anyone on this planet, time. Time can be put in a bottle, right? You're willing to take your time and offer it to me to see if there's anything I need to say to get off my chest, or if I need to cry, or if I just need to vent. You've willing to sacrifice, you're willing to put the entire world on hold just to hear that. If anybody would have done that to me at any time in the last 10 days, that would have been the most well received condolence or well wish at all. Now, I literally would have had the opportunity to say, yeah or nay. No, I'm fine. Thank you for the offer. you know, it's just really tough on me. Or something along that line, I would have been able to say. Or maybe I really needed to talk, and I recognize you as somebody that really would be able to open up to and do that. Now, you also need to keep in mind, you need to be prepared to be able to put everything on hold. And if you can't put everything on hold for the loss of a life, then what is that really saying about us as a society as well? If you can't stop for just a few minutes to grieve or mourn the passing of a human being, is really life that important, or that lack of importance that you just can't take 5, 10, 30 minutes? There's no telling how long that conversation could go. For someone's life, for a heart that was beating, a soul, that really is the best thing I think anybody could have said. Any other thing that comes across, just it just never feels right to me, and I don't think they ever felt right saying it either. I don't truly believe that whenever somebody says, "Oh, time heals all wounds," I don't want to hear that. "Oh, don't worry about it. You'll get over it sooner or later." Really? You're a young man. There's lots of other women out there. Oh, come on. God bless you guys. I'm so thankful for everybody that's tried to convey a thought or an uplifting um, word of encouragement or anything. But those are not really nice things to say to somebody like this. And none of it was done in malice. Please don't think for one second that I was insulted and just looked at them and wanted to punch them in the face, because it was never that. Because at the same token, I'm understanding that they just don't realize that this is not really the thing to say to somebody in this situation. And that's why I'm sharing with you guys now. Maybe we can spread the word. Maybe we can help other people go through this, so that hopefully in the future, should you ever get involved in something like this, it might be handled a little better. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you would not want to hear that. Maybe what you need to be told is, hey, you know what? You knew she was dying in the first place. Your life's a little better now. These are things that I was told. Maybe that would be comforting to you. It certainly wasn't comforting to me. She's in a better place. God took her away. Come on. I'm grieving. I've lost my partner, my best friend, my wife. I don't want to hear that. I know all of that. I know she's in a better place. I know God took her away. I know she's no longer in pain. I don't need to be told that. I need to have somebody ask me if I want to talk about it, and to celebrate her life for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes. Whatever can be put on hold to remember or try to process the passing of a life from this planet. That's my opinion. And I just wanted to get that off my chest before we did anything else. And you guys have been so here for me for this. Gosh, we're coming on 6 years from the very first time I uploaded a video. I think it was first week of April in 2015. It was my first video of this. And you guys have been here for a long time, and you've been with here through the struggles of all that. So that's why I share with you, and I thank you all. I really do. I thank all of you for being here with me and for me. I thought I was supposed to get a package in the mail yesterday, and then it showed up. Like I need another package, but let's see, what should we open today? Let's see what I've missed on the chat, because I just went right into talking instead of greeting all y'all. I'm sorry this morning. Toy Mafia, good morning. You're always first person. I think only once or twice have you ever not been the first person in there. Jake D, right in there. Morning. I am trying to take care of myself. I am. Thank you very much. Thank you, Martin. Thank you. Hope you're doing better this week. I'm sure I am doing better this week than I am last week, but I'm not doing any better, if that makes any sense. CBS Sci-Fi, I'm doing okay, I guess. Best it can be considered. Take your time, do what you need to. I'm so glad you're here with us, and I'm glad you're here with me. I am. So, my wife, if you remember, if you guys have been hanging out with us for the last year and a half, when she had her first cardiac arrest, she died. The cardiac arrest, to give it real quick, a stroke is when your oxygen is cut off to your brain and causes some sort of brain damage because you don't have any oxygen to your brain. A heart attack is when your heart either slows down or doesn't beat or stops beating, and it attacks your body. A cardiac arrest is when your brain says you're done. It just shuts everything off. You die. You're literally dead. So she died. They brought her back to life. And as she was healing, and I was telling her about the shows, I think I may have taken a week off at that point. I don't remember. And she was so pleased. And some of you sent some wonderful, touching. I have the correspondences from you guys here. They've not gone anywhere. They're right here close to me always. And she was so pleased when I read those to her. And she, at that point, she took assurance in knowing that you are here for me. And I think that strengthened our relationship then. And that's when I started getting a little more personal with you guys. And I hope you don't mind. So instead of it just being just a video of the hobby, it became more of a familial relationship. And she was always very happy that you guys have always been here for me. So she could go on in assurance that I can use you guys to heal. That's my belief. So thank you, really, for every one of you for being here for me and with me in all of this. And no, I'm going to be grieving for a very long time. This is not something that's going to get over in any time soon. But I'm going to try to keep the show not so much on this and get back to what the show really is about. So thank you very much for putting up with me sharing. And thank you guys for being here for me. Every one of you, thank you very much. So I don't know what, someplace I have my list that I had that I wanted to go through of figures. I've added figures since this list and opened those up as they came along. I don't remember what it was that I had an issue with now. That was still on here. Black Widow. Some Black Widows. I got a bunch of Black Widows now. PE007, which I think is the Ock. We wanted to go through him. A couple of Deadpools. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Did I open those up? Still got some Spider-Man here. This stack right here are figures that I really had no intention of even filming opening because they're figures I've already opened, and they're just like doubles of figures I already have. So like another Thor from Infinity War, and another Iron Spider from Infinity War. What's this? Stealth suit, the other stealth suit, not the deluxe, from Far From Home, the Night Monkey. So that's what that whole stack is. And over here are the older ones. So like Black Widow is one that I had on here. Let's do some Black Widows. These are the older Black Widows. Maybe you have some interest in that, I don't know. I do have a new Gamora. I want to open up a Gamora. I want to do these Black Widows. I have 3 old Black Widows. It's funny, when I started collecting these in 2015, my wife's like, what are you doing? Collecting figures, toys, you know, there's got to be something you got to collect. She goes, well, don't get carried away with it. I said, oh no. You got nothing to worry about. I'll probably buy like one Captain America, you know, one Iron Man, one Spider-Man. That'll be it. So I would pass on these figures as they came out, or some of them had already been out before I got into the collection. And I was like, well, I don't need another Captain America. I don't need another Black Widow. I've got them. Well, now it's time to play catch up, because now the policy in my mind is Pokemon. You got to catch them all. So what we have here for this Black Widow bunch And I guess the movie's coming out soon, right? So might as well crank up the Black Widow collection. We got a Winter Soldier Black Widow, which I didn't have before because I passed on her. I had the Age of Ultron, which I really liked. So far, it's probably my favorite Black Widow, actually. We've got a Avengers Black Widow. What in the world did they do here? Some of these older ones, the suits dissolve, which we've seen. And so as I was examining these purchases via the pictures that were posted online, I was looking for the telltale signs of dissolving suits and tried to avoid that out of any purchase. And that's why it's important to share that with somebody. And if you have one that's got a dissolving suit, hey, I guess you just got to bite the bullet and accept that, unfortunately, you got beat up by the forces of nature or something. So here's an Avengers Black Widow. So hopefully these are in good condition. That's the hope. Also went down to IKEA. I wanted to buy a Detolf. I have 2 Detolfs here. Detolf, however you say it. I don't know what the proper pronunciation of the word is. I don't even know if it's a real word. They were all out. They said they had 50 of them coming in a week. I'm not planning on buying 50 Detolfs. This Black Widow from Iron Man 2. Which was first? Black Widow make her appearance in Iron Man 2? Is that when we first saw her? I think it was. Is that the first Black Widow? Save on Mason! How are you? If it is, let's go with that one. Avengers was after Iron Man 2, right? It was Iron Man 1, and then it was Hulk. Wasn't that the second movie? The Edward Norton Hulk? Because we don't regard the Ang Lee Hulk as canon for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Is that right? And then after Hulk, was Thor the next? Or was it Iron Man 2? I don't remember anymore. It's a good looking box. It's been kept well. I don't see any markings or scratches on it for the most part. Really good looking box. Some scratches here where it's been moved around on a shelf. It has been opened. Let's see what she looks like. Wednesday, no, it hasn't been opened. Okay, it doesn't appear to have been opened. I thought it was open because I didn't see the plastic on the sleeve, and I just assumed that it wasn't a sleeve. I don't know, incorrectly I assumed. I don't see any marks on this that show that this has been removed from the package. either they did a really good job of opening it with like a hair dryer or something to release the glue, and then they're able to put it back on there in the exact same spot without any bubbles or any glue marks, or this thing has never been opened. We may have lucked into a brand spanking new one, really brand spanking new one. Martin, thank you very much. I have not checked that. Thank you, Martin. Patreons, I love you guys. Um, when Patreon got hooked up with YouTube a few years back, YouTube was telling us contributors to YouTube, creators, whatever you want to call us, that we really needed to tell you guys that you needed to pay for our channels. And I had a hard time doing that. I've always had a hard time telling somebody that they needed to send me money when I'm using money to buy these toys, which are just ridiculously price expensive. These are expensive toys. And, not everybody and their brother can afford these types of things. And how dare I sit there and tell you that you had to finance me? It just always bothered me. It didn't make any sense. And I couldn't ask. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't ask for a long time. I'd throw it out there. I'd say it was there, and I'd do some whole half-hearted comment about, if you want to support the channel, you can, do this. But I never had any feeling for it. And then one day I started thinking, it is a nice way to send a tip if you appreciate what I do, and that I don't feel bad about. So thank you very much. All of you Patreons are amazing. I have some wonderful Patreons who have been contributing for quite some time, and it's nice to be loved, and that's truly what it is. You're sharing your love with me. You're giving me a portion of what you have, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. It doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you. And unfortunately, I've got nothing to give you other than just my heartfelt love, and I really mean it. Thank you very much. For real. Thank you very much. That is awesome. And it's www.patreon.com/ and then my name, Siri Emerald, Siriemerald. And I was Siri a long time before the app was. She took my name. Let's see who's responsible for this character. A lot of names I don't recognize anymore. Yu Lee, head sculptor. I think she's gone. Head sculptor is Yu Lee. Head art director J.C. Hong. Hands sculptor Ku Hui Okui. I don't know that person. Painting controller J.C. Hong. I don't see who painted the face, so I'm assuming at this point when they were putting it together, the painting controller or the head art director is the one that painted the face, and both of that was J.C. Hong. So if you didn't know, each Hot Toys figure, the heads are done in Korea, by Hot Toys Korea. The bodies and everything else are done in China or Hong Kong or wherever. And each head is individually hand painted. So they're sculpted either by hand or by the computer. I think over the years they're probably doing all computer sculpting now, but I believe probably at one point in the 20 years they've been around, they were hand sculpting them. And then cast the original, the prototype, and then casting them from there. But each one truly is hand painted. Every one of them are. So each one truly is a unique work of art. Let's see if it still has that Hot Toy smell. So when did this come out? Be interested to know. God, I'm not going to be able to read this. It's so small. 2010. It's quite possible we could be opening a figure up that's 11 years old. Quite possible. It's very believable at this point. No, it's not. I'm looking for the hot toy smell. It's hard to say. It really is hard to say at this point whether or not it's been opened or not. One thing I find interesting, now mind you, we're talking about 11 years ago. This is inside here. Normally they are taped on the outside, right? But this is different way of packaging this. So it's possible that they did just set it right in there. We're talking about 11 years ago, before they had a good scheme of doing things. Now this box has some scratches on it right here and here. Whether that was done on an assembly line or not, it's hard to say. This is raised up. Again, whether that was done because they had removed it to get the figure out and put it back in to try to make it look like it was brand new, or whether or not that just from 11 years of time just pressed up against that and got it out. It's hard to say. Really is hard to say at this point. Here she is coming out of the case. Now, what I notice are no plastic on the feet. But again, it's been a long time since I've opened up an 11-year-old figure. I don't remember if they had plastic on them back then. Okay. Notice also this isn't wrapped all the way around the hand. And this very well may have been the way that they did it there. So indicators so far are still positive that we truthfully have an 11-year-old brand new figure. Nothing's loose. That little elbow is there. She would definitely stand on her own. No doubt about that. Which leads me to believe if she's been on display, if somebody took her out of her package and displayed her, that she was displayed and never touched. It's hard to say. The hair's got product in it. Now, whether or not it came from Hot Toys with product in it, I don't know. It's very hard all the way through. Again, I don't remember. If you guys have any knowledge about this, by all means, please share, speak up. We may be doing a time capsule right here. 11-year-old time capsule. I really want to believe it. I really do. I really do. So I've not watched Black Winter Soldier and Falcon. I've not completed WandaVision. You guys are welcome to talk about it. I'll just not listen. I'm really enjoying it. I just haven't gotten around to finishing it. Iron Man 2, Black Widow in her Avengers outfit. Yeah, I think it is, Martin. I think it is. I really feel that we have just stumbled into a time capsule here. And I'm very fortunate to have this. She looks great. Um, I I'm skeptical only because of the variables that are involved that would have to go into play for this to be this way. It just seems impossible. But I'm not seeing any red flags here. And I've unboxed a lot of Hot Toys figures. Believe it or not. Her little pistol's got the little magazine that comes out. It's always nice if they do that. Imagine the slide probably will slide back as well. It does. Hot Toys has always been good about that. Perfect for those of you who like to do photography with your figures. You know, if you want to show her putting the clip in the in the in the pistol, or if you want to show her discharging the clip out of the pistol or whatever, you want to show the you know the round being fired and the slide racking back. You know, it's nice that these little things can be done with that. So she has that, and then this I think is a I've not seen this pistol before. Little bitty silver one. That's a new one on me for Black Widow. I don't remember seeing that one before. I have this. I don't have this angled down far enough, do I? A lot of ceiling there that we don't need. There we go. That's a lot better. I mean, for someone to go through this trouble to make an extra $20 or whatever it is that they would make off of it being brand new versus it being brand off of the shelf and in like new condition, it's not worth it. Um, I've never liked these oval shaped stands because they just bust right open. Surprised that this one hasn't busted open. And for most of my female characters, I don't like these. I like the ones that wrap around this way. If you're using these crotch grabbers, I like the ones that go around their waist. So, Iron Man 2 Black Widow. This is pretty exciting. I don't sound pretty excited, I bet. But this is pretty exciting. I have Black Widow up here on the shelf because I don't know where else to put her. I've got a Black Widow with the Age of Ultron group in the other room. I've got a Black Widow over here with the Infinity War Avengers. We've got Black Widow down here with Hawkeye at the Red Skull, Soul Ghost. So three of them are on display. One is here because I don't know where else to put her. And here I'm adding three more. I think that's an entire Black Widow collection at this point. I don't think I'm missing any now. Might be wrong. But we've got Iron Man 2. We've got Avengers. We've got Captain America Civil War, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, Endgame, and whatever the hell that one is. I don't remember. What is that one? Don't remember. And of course, we've got the Black Widow movie coming. Supposedly this summer, right? I guess the movie theaters are starting to open up across the country. They're not allowed to have more than 50% capacity or something like that in California, or 100 viewers in a theater, whichever is greater. No, whichever is less. So they can put up to 100 people as long as it doesn't exceed 50% of the capacity of the theater. So if it's a 98 seat theater, they can't put 100 people in. They can only put in 44 people. She comes with an odd number of hands, 5. We have a relaxed hand on this side, and then she came with a relaxed hand in the box, which seems ironic to me. Normally they have the hands of the same relaxed hand on both sides. So again, that's could be a red flag, but then again, we're talking 11 years ago. Maybe they didn't do it that way. Then we have 2 pistol hands, one here and one here. So again, it seems a little weird. And then we have, I don't know what you would call this hand like that. 2 thumbs up, or 2 fingers up, I don't know. But it's interesting that they had a hand painter listed on the box. A hand painter. Very interesting. Which makes me wonder, are each of these hands individually painted, just like the head sculpt? Let's get you a close-up of this head sculpt. So this is Iron Man 2, Black Widow, which, remember correctly, was the first one, because we were introduced to, she was introduced to us as Natalie Romanoff? No. She was supposedly like somebody from Legal. And then, of course, when Nick Fury met Tony at Randy's Donuts, and they're in there inside it, looking at him, being eaten up by the chemicals he's using to keep the shrapnel out of his heart. And Natasha shows up, and he's like, "You're fired? You're fired?" It was nice. So she looks great. Very Barbie dollish. There actually is, that's not true. There actually is a raised area on her breasts for her areola. The breasts are separated from the chest, as a Hot Toys figure would be, but the breasts definitely have some shape there. The suit is very thick. Trying to zip it back up. There we go. Suit looks great. And again, on these older suits, some of them start to dissolve. So Black Widow, Iron Man 2. Natalie Rushman. That was her name. Natalie Rushman. as she was hired on as Stark. You're fired. Trying to open the instruction manual. Couldn't peel the tape open. All right, here's our answer. Apply hairstyling product to the hair to achieve better effects when necessary. Styling gel has been applied to product already. The outfit may be damaged if inappropriate pulling on and off with excessive force of the head sculpt. So she came with styling gel on her. There you go. That answered any questions in regards to that. Or if you ever had any question about whether or not you should actually be using styling gel on your figures, which a lot of people will say, put some styling gel on there, style her hair out, keep it from being all frizzy. Well, now you know it's 100% accepted to do. And at one point, Hot Toys even did that. Like I said, things have changed over the years from how Hot Toys did things then and does things now. Avengers and Winter Soldier. Okay, so Iron Man 2, Avengers, Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron, Captain America Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame. So I think that's all of her movies. So this will be Avengers, right? Avengers was before Winter Soldier, right? Let's look at the year. 2014 on Winter Soldier. I think Avengers is 2012. So here we go. This is definitely the order. I'm gonna tell you right now, I was really disappointed in the in-game Black Widow. So track down the video that I did, the live video of unboxing that, and I was really disappointed in the in-game Black Widow. I really am. It was just terrible. Not a very good representation. But if you need it to tell your story, okay, if you like the way she was portrayed in the movie, if you want her to be your representation of Black Widow, who am I to tell you not to get her? Personally, still, my favorite Black Widow is Age of Ultron. It really is. I don't know why I just opened this up without examining this box. Because this one also appears to be new. But no, I was really disappointed with the in-game Black Widow. Hot Toys has been hit or miss lately. So Hot Toys started in the year 2000 making military action figures. And then they started getting licenses to do other things. And at one point, Hot Toys quality meant something You got a quality product. I mean, a real good product. And back then they were under 200 bucks, and you got a great product. Um, what they didn't have back then was true to life face sculptures. Maybe not necessarily the proper height proportion would be represented in the creation of the figure, but the quality of the figure was unsurpassed. Couldn't be passed up anywhere else, especially for the price. Well, now they've almost doubled in price. They have improved the scale of the height of the figures being true to life, and the head sculpts now are dead on. It's rare that you find a head sculpt that doesn't look like the character now, for real. But they've really gotten real cheap on the quality of their figures. So that's your that's my opinion on things. There she is in the box. Yeah, I was excited for the Black Widow movie when I heard they're finally going to make one. I wanted one for so long. And then when it didn't re-release last year due to COVID, my heart sunk over that whole thing. And again, I'm thinking I'm looking at a figure here that's never been taken out of the box. I think I'm going to have a time capsule here to tell you the God's honest truth. So I'm happy to hear that supposedly it's going to be in theaters soon. I think in May, right? I love it when they do this. I love it. I love it when they do this. Put the little accessories in a little box that I can then put into a drawer, just like such. This box is a little wide, but it will fit in there perfectly, and I can just keep them right in there. Give me a little extra box. Put another piece of little plastic on there. I hate when they just put them in here and then don't have anything, and you get back to this. This is a good way of doing it. So we have their little things they have here. Different version of them, I see. And her little fists and some little things. There's little things with some little fists and little things. That's what we got here. Little fists, some little things, and some little things. We have a Chitauri weapon. It's so interesting that you guys never bought the Chitauri soldiers. Why is that? Why is it that nobody bought the Chitauri soldiers? That's why we don't get the Black Order. Thanos' children. Because you can still buy brand new Chitauri soldiers right now. Did you know that? From the original sellers. Under factory warranty. You sure can. So this, I think, is the gun that we see on the back of one of them folded up. I might be wrong. That's the bad thing about 1/6 scale collecting is they don't make everybody. If you're collecting 1/12, they make everybody. You know? You don't get that in 1/6. You end up missing out on a lot of key characters or promises not fulfilled that a character is going to be made. Corvus Glaive, wasn't he one of the ones that was promised us? I don't remember getting a Corvus. We haven't gotten any of the Black Order, have we? We were supposed to be getting The little Ultron sentries, never got that. They teased us with the other Iron Legions. You know, there are 5 Iron Legions. They teased us with an additional one. So it would let us to believe that we're going to get all 5 of them. We didn't. It teased us with the Yellow Jacket from Ant-Man. Never got it. Teased us with the Rhino from Amazing Spider-Man. Didn't get it. It's just the nature of the beast of the 1/6 scale community. If we don't buy the figures, they're not going to make them. Now, the good thing is, and I've said this before, the way that manufacturing is done now, compared to 10 or even 20 years ago, um, and because they've gotten us so accustomed to waiting 2 years for a figure in the first place now, they could make up a prototype, show it to us, and however many they sell is however many they crank out. If they sell 51 of them, just 51, crank it up for 51. I mean, now that may sound a little stupid, but they're selling the gosh darn things for almost $300. Do you really think it costs them $300 a figure? Or even $200 a figure? Or even $100 for a figure? They could literally make what was sold and maybe a little more if they needed to in case the figure picked up. And they've shown us they can reissue stuff. So it's not like it was 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, where when they were cranking out these Chitauri soldiers, they had no idea how many people were going to buy. They're putting them on the shelves, making them available, and everyone's like, I have no interest in it. Mark 17 Heartbreaker, Mark 33 Silver Centurion sat on the shelves forever. Jamie Foxx's Electro sat on the shelves forever. All these figures were figures they just couldn't sell. So when it gets down to, do we make this specific third string character, we can't even sell the first string characters. So that's how that happens. By the way, I thought it was funny in WandaVision when Wanda says to Pietro, "What happened to your accent?" He's like, "What happened to yours?" I thought that was funny. So you might wonder why I'm doing this. I think you guys know. I'm looking to see how weak the character is. If there's anything that's going to fall. And this is strong. Not even the elbows. So the elbows on this one were weak. No. And I'm lifting it by the elbow and the whole body's moving. No weakness here at all. Anywhere. Anywhere. Huge scale difference between these two. Again, the old figures versus the new figures. Um, and the head sculpt has been greatly improved between these two. I'll put them up here side by side. Just keep in mind, this would have been the first Black Widow that they made for Iron Man 2, right? This is the second appearance of Black Widow in Avengers. And I want you to look at the size difference and the proportion of these two figures. So now what do we do about that? What can we do about that? Should we do anything about that? That's probably a more appropriate question to ask. Should we do anything about that? We might be able to find a Fison. You notice Black Widow here is very well endowed, and obviously here she is not. A little more accurate to the actress who portrayed Natasha Romanoff, Natalie Rushman, Scarlet Witch, Black Widow. Jesus. So here's the instructions on how to interchange the stinger, and again about styling product in the figure already. So that's nice to know that they are doing that and admitting it. So those of you that have been cautious, didn't want to put styling product in your figure, just know that they put them in there before. Let's see who head painted this. Head sculptor Yuli, same one that made this one. A huge difference in this. This one really looks like Scarlett Johansson. This one really does not. Yuli and K.A. Kim. I don't know why. There's two of them on it. Head painter and head art director J.C. Hong. So he painted both of those Black Widows. Both of them. Man, I'm doing pretty good. Two brand new figures. One 11 years old and one 9 years old. Sheesh. Wow. What do you think? Pretty exciting, isn't it? Can you see the size difference here? I'll put them back to back for you. And both of them, they have boots. I mean, is it worth doing a Fison conversion? Can you find a Fison that would fit this figure here? What about maybe getting an in-game, for instance, that's readily available body, using that to put in here? What do you think? Would it be worth it to disassemble this suit on this to properly proportion her? Would it even be feasible? Maybe. She does unzip all the way down to her navel. Could you put it in there? How did they craft this? Um, I don't think it's worth messing with. Looking at the hips on this figure, by the way, those look like they could bust apart right there if you see what I'm talking about. That's it's a little scary to me. So no, um, I'll try not to display her with herself and find some way of putting her on display in a better place. But she's out of whack. She is. So we don't want to have her standing by any other incarnations of herself for that simple reason. But this head sculpt really looks great. Looks great. This was really a good looking figure. Gosh. She's got two fists. Two trigger fingers. The same hand that we had in the other Black Widow, this fingers thing. And then we have this trigger finger also. Wrist pegs, Jatari Soldier pistol weapon, two of the identical pistols now, right here, her little whatever they are, with the same ability, and did they tape this? They did. So it's the same fists that are on the body, okay, but with the blue stripe on it. It's pretty neat. And then also what were these called? Widow bites are blue as well instead of black like they are on her wrist. So, and then the things that we've seen her slide down in Iron Man 2. She has those here. I'm assuming that's what these are. The little flashbang grenades or whatever they were. Trying to remember, was it Avengers when we catch up with Natasha in the middle of an interrogation? And they like called the bad guy's cell phone. He's like, it's for you. And she's like, yeah, I'm working here. He's about to confess to everything. He's about to confess to everything. I've seen WandaVision, which is crazy since almost never watched that genre. I've also just watched Justice League, a 4 hour version. Oh, nice. How was that? I know a lot of the fans were really looking forward to the Zack Snyder, wasn't that his name? Version of Justice League. I've not seen the movie. I did find it interesting that every commercial scene, from my understanding of that movie, every scene that was in the commercials was not in the movie. And the scenes in the commercials were quite clever and funny. Hopefully, they put them in the movie. I'm looking for the mouse. The size is bad for fact. They just did a 12-inch figure. That's all they did. Yeah, I'm agreeing. 11 years old, leave her alone for fact. That suit would not survive a transfer. Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. But it's really not. It's not a very good representation of Scarlett Johansson or the Black Widow, to tell you the truth. So, Lego, how you doing, man? Snyder Cut was amazing. That's good to hear, Matt. Thank you very much. I've not seen it. The only DC movie I've seen of late, and I'm talking about from uh, um, Nolan, was the last Batman I've seen. I didn't see any of the Superman's. What's his name's? Henry Cavill. I'm not seeing any of those. None of that. Up. Well, I think I've seen is Aquaman. Didn't see any of the Wonder Woman. None of them. Not because I have a problem with them. It just didn't work into the schedule. I wasn't really thrilled to go get it. Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Black Widow. This was the boxes we called the Hot Toys Plop, right? Shoebox style. Head painter, head art director, and painting controller J.C. Hong. Head sculptor Yuli. And I don't think Yuli works there anymore, by the way. Might be wrong. If you work there, Yuli, forgive me for calling you out like that. So nothing's sealed on this. Um, so it'd be difficult to tell whether or not it was ever opened before, necessarily. But it does appear to be tight packaging. That's what we're dealing with right here. Wonder Woman 84 for me tonight. Good. A loose knee. It's already falling down the right leg. And that happens. Doesn't really mean anything, but it's a loose knee. styling product in the hair. Owie. Properly proportioned, appear to be the same body, and a better head sculpt. This one looked great compared to that one. This one looks great compared to this one. And that was what happened over the years, by the way. Every new figure ended up having a nicer head sculpt, it seemed. And then came in game. I don't know what the hell happened. Not impressed with in game figures. Hawkeye, Black Widow. Not impressed with the dead Venom pool. Product in the hair, definitely. Hair looks great. Suit looks amazing. Jeez. 11-year-old figure, 9-year-old figure, and a 7-year-old figure. By the way, I bought a brand new van, a mobility van for my wife 2 weeks before she passed away. A Chrysler Pacifica. If you all know anybody that needs a mobility van, let me know. It's got an electric ramp. It's fully loaded, 360 camera. Sticker on it was 74, or I paid 77 with tax, title, and tag. Has less than 1,000 miles. I've got 540 miles on it. And I think when I bought it, it had 200. So I've put like nearly 300 miles on the car, or thereabouts. And I have no need for it. And I know I'm going to take a beating on the car, but I plan on giving it away. I will use it as a truck if I have to before I give the doggone thing away. But if you know anybody that needs one, give me a shout. And so here is a perfect example of, them not making a bottom of this. The pieces are just in here, which means you can't use this to store them with. And so she's got two little pistols just like she had before, and whatever this piece is, I don't know. Oh my God, you know what I think it is? I don't know what it is. Possibly a phone? Jesus Christ. Let's pick up the hand we dropped, and let's pick up the phone we dropped. Pretty sure it's a phone. Not really sure. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not really sure. So it comes totally folded up in this manner. Then you can unfold it all the way back. So 270 degrees, you can unfold it, which is what leads me to believe it's possibly a phone. I don't really know, but there it is. She's got two relaxed hands, two fists, four fists. The difference being what? The one with the blue stripes down from her widow bites. Two trigger finger hands and one holding, grasping hand, I guess, for the phone. And then wrist pegs. All three of these come with wrist pegs. All three of them do. I found Justice League really good and great to see Batman and Superman again in a new movie. It was long ago. It was long, so I watched it over 3 to 4 sittings. There are many biblical references. The devil reads the Bible too. That's true. Like that one. The devil does read the Bible. The devil believes in Jesus. Right? Add that up. The devil believes in God. Apply hairstyling products to achieve better effects when necessary. Styling gel has been applied to product already. Don't rubber wipe the body with thinner. Don't get the rubber body in touch with fire or heat. The outfit may be damaged if putting off on or taking off inappropriately with excessive force. There's the instruction manual. Let's see who manufactured this while we're at it. Did we not already go over that? I think we did. So I think I lucked into 3 brand new figures. I like to believe that. I really do. I knew I was missing a cover somewhere. So here's the lineup. There you have them. Obviously, properly proportioned and not. So that tells you when Hot Toys quality started. Little timeline there. So, if you guys don't have anything else for me, I'm gonna wrap this up. No sense in keeping you on longer than need be. We quickly went over 3 figures. We discovered some huge differences and some great similarities and improvement as time progressed. Best Black Widow series out of all that I have, I truthfully probably need to have them all sitting side by side. Age of Ultron is one of my favorites still, um, but without them all looking side by side of each one, it's hard to say. Age of Ultron really is my favorite. So I'm leaning towards that one. But without holding each one accountable to the other, just going off of these 3 versus those and not getting these off of the shelf, it's hard to say. So depending on what you're wanting to do with your collection, if you're looking for a Black Widow just to represent, get the Black Widow that represents the most of your collection. If you have the Avengers time period, then go with the Avengers. If you have Age of Ultron time period as most of your collection, go with Age of Ultron Black Widow. The beautiful thing about Natasha Romanoff was that she was constantly changing herself. So, you can kind of almost make that a canon argument in regards to things. So, I have a P.O. box. It's in the description. You're welcome to send cards if you feel so inclined. What's postage stamp cost now? Less than 50 cents, right? Get your piece of paper and a pencil, just write it out. You don't have to spend $5 on a card to mail out to me. If you wanted to send something, I'd appreciate it to get your condolences. Just spell it out. Sorry about your loss. We love you. That's all you have to say. It'd be nice to know that you feel moved to share. We'll be here next week, of course, unless something happens. And that's about all I got. I need to watch more of WandaVision. I need to finish that off. Yeah. Your flute will put me to sleep. Beautiful. What is your YouTube channel, Martin? Can we find you by Martin Rygard Lassen? Will we find you playing your flute there? Civil War one of the Civil War one at the moment. I guess you're saying the Civil War one is your favorite at the moment, which is this one. Thank you, thank you, thank you, CBS Sci-Fi. Thank you, 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 thank you. And check out Martin's flute. I've never heard him play, so we're basing it off of his own self-endorsement. And if he's that bad, Martin, we're going to have to tell you about it. I'm sure it's fine. I look forward to checking you out. I will. So if you guys have got nothing else for me, I'm going to cut you loose. And like I said, we've got plenty of she's got Killmonger over here. I've got the asteroids replicate to open up. A whole slew of Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker and R2-D2s and John Waz and the Zarek table. I've got Gamora. I've got Drax. I've got Captain America's over here. Nick Fury's over here. Loki's over here. Thor. Odin from Thor. I got Hela back. I told you I was going to buy Hela again. I sold her. I had to get rid of her. I've got her back. I think I got a Mark 85 coming. Pretty sure I got a Mark 85 coming. Got Spider-Man figures to do. Figures over here don't necessarily need to be unboxed. And this big box is a Sideshow Dewback. The hell am I going to do with that? I'll figure something out. So there's definitely not lack of content. So I love you guys, man. I really do. Thank you very much. My wife, she's watching. I guarantee you she's watching. I talk to her all the time. She's listening. She's being cremated. That was her wishes. Wednesday, I went to the crematorium and signed the final papers. Chose an urn for her to reside in. And she'll be coming home with me. And maybe one day her remains will be scattered somewhere. Maybe not. Another thing that her and I talked about before was these diamonds that you can have the ashes converted into. That might be a possibility as well. I've lost my wife, guys. So yeah, I'm grieving over that. But I will cut you out of here. Let you guys get on with your weekend. Thank you for spending time with me. I do love every one of you. I really do. And I so look forward to our time together. I really, really do. Especially if I'm not well. You guys help me find my center. So I love you. Patreon.com/Siri Emerald. Like, subscribe, share. Tell your friends where they can go for 1/6 Scale News and Reviews. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace out. Love you. Bye.